My girl likes listening to punk rock fast and loud while I'm doing stand-up for comedy crowds. She have a cocktail and she sips it slow while I'm chugging Miller Lite like it's H2O. She's watching Murder Docs up late at night while I'm yelling at the game in the pale blue light. She doing yoga poses, just lying on the floor while I'm out on the golf course yelling for. I'm not sure who to blame, love or Cupid, but I know I love you, stupid. I may be wrong, but I'll never tell. And you may be right, but you can go to hell. And I may be ugly, but you can't prove it. And one thing I know is I love you, stupid.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Love You Stupid. I'm Joe Prano here with my fiance, Charlotte Wolf, for another episode of Love You Stupid. Babe, it's a special episode. We haven't done an episode in a couple weeks, so I'm breaking out the large gold can. 50th anniversary.
Good for you.
Just saying. We did do an episode. We tried to record an episode a couple weeks ago before I went to New York, and
I hated it.
You hated it. Also, the sound wasn't good. We're going to try to start doing these at home so that we don't have to go to a studio or pay for a studio. So here's a shot from our brand new couch. How do you like your brand new couch?
I love my new couch, but we got the new couch because our dog pissed through the other one.
That's right. Well, that brings me to something I wanted to do. We did it on the last episode that did not air, but it's something I want to do every week on Love You Stupid. Rank the dogs.
Oh, okay.
We have 3 dogs, Bob, Boom, and Peep. They're scattered around the house right now. We actually took a minute to get started here today because Peep would not settle. So it's time to play Rank the Dogs. Who's your number 3 dog of the week?
Bob.
Because he pissed on the couch?
He pissed the couch, and there's always something wrong with Bob.
There's always something wrong with Bob. I said Bob was 3 in the unaired episode, and you got very upset about it. But Bob has pissed, not on the couch, but through
the couch.
Pissed through the couch.
Because he has a UTI, because he's never not just fine.
So we agree, Bob, number 3. Unanimous 3 this week. We didn't really settle on an answer last time, but this week, unanimously number 3.
Throw him in the garbage.
Who is your number 2 dog of the week?
Peep.
Peep is number 2, just because Boom is number 1 and somebody has to be 2?
Mostly that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the other reasons?
Chasing the hawks in the yard.
I actually think that's adorable.
Really?
Yeah.
Leave those hawks alone.
Well, she's a bird chaser.
They're trying to figure it out.
All right. Well, I will always
also, she's going to end up with one eye.
I will probably always, unless she does something terrible, have Boom number 1. So pretty easy rank the dogs this week. Bob number 3, Peep number 2. My girl, the love of my life, Boom number 1. That was rank the dogs.
I feel like normally I would choose Peep, but Boom's been real sweet with me.
Boom has been really sweet with you this week.
Yeah.
There's been something that I've seen on social media recently that I wanted to talk to you about before we got going to some of the other topics we have.
Did you find that video of me doing that thing?
I found the video of you doing that thing. I didn't think someone's asshole could be pulled so wide, but bravo to you.
The original goatsy.
Yeah. There's a trend on social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, mostly by women, talking about places men do not belong. I saw multiple recently about fitness, classes. Men don't belong in hot yoga, apparently, according to women on the internet. Men don't belong in Pilates. And then actually somebody that I'm friends with on Facebook said men do not belong at the nail salon. And she went on a whole long thing about how, literally you're a creep, pedophile, whatever, if you're even at a nail salon. I am offended by this every which way. First of all, hot yoga, before people started going with off-brand hot yoga,
Well, you know why they went with off-brand hot yoga?
Because you have to like pay a fee to.
No.
Why?
I'm agreeing with you in argument, I think, but I don't think that that's the best argument to take because it was called Bikram hot yoga, named after the guy who invented it. Bikram.
Oh, right. He's a
a massive creep.
Okay. Nonetheless, sort of the foremost yogis historically, men. I understand women do yoga now. It's a very popular thing in place of like, you know, going to the gym. Like women do yoga, women do Pilates, women do whatever. But like, I enjoy yoga when I go. I've gone to. I have many pairs of grippy socks from going to Pilates.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have never seen these grippy socks.
Well, I don't wear them because I don't go to Pilates anymore. But when I broke my knee, PT suggested check out Pilates, use the reformer. And I was like, I see how this is a legitimate workout.
There are like gyms that are just for women that have designated women's only areas. So if you feel gawked at, if you feel uncomfortable, those places are there for you. There's also the option at most yoga and Pilates studios to get private lessons if you are so perturbed by the fact that like a human being with genitalia different from yours might be working out beside or behind you. Get the fuck over it. 1. 2, I just don't understand how it's a girl's thing. And the other thing is like, oh, but are the gays allowed? Because I would assume so.
And then I saw, one of the videos I saw was no straight men at hot yoga. What the fuck are we doing here?
I would say maybe for body odor alone, I would get behind that.
I have been behind some farty women at hot yoga.
Is it a fart or is it a queef?
I don't know. Air is blowing out of an orifice
or is it
at
like
hot
me
yoga.
Where my armpits fart.
No, when we used to do hot yoga in West Hollywood, that was just a fart box. That was a straight up fart box. It was like people playing a fucking accordion of farts.
I think you heard a lot of mat squeaking and just assumed that it was farts.
Do the mat squeaks smell like farts? Human shit?
The thing though is, I take hot yoga 2 to 4 times a week, and there's old straight white guys and young straight guys and literally fucking everyone and their mom in that room. And if you're focusing on anything other than your own practice, you're fucking doing it wrong.
I just think it's also like, where are we today that like I feel like it's only women who are comfortable saying this shit now. Like today, I played golf and I was caught behind 4 women playing golf. They were slow, but I was never like, get these women off the course. Well, women don't belong at breweries.
But women don't belong. It's like feminism mismanaged into something else. And while there should be spaces for women, and there like if there should be a women's only space, like then make it that and designate it at that and honor it. But you just don't get to have Pilates. There was a girl. And then what about like last month? There was a girl who went on to TikTok or whatever and was like, "Fat people shouldn't be at Pilates, nor should fat people be teaching Pilates." It's kind of the same fucking thing. I'm just like, why are you even fucking at Pilates? And it's not about that, and you shouldn't be there.
And then also like that was so dumb because I mean, you look in the NFL, for example, the left tackle of every NFL team is a legitimate obese human being who is more athletic than any of us could ever dream of.
In my yoga and like Pilates classes, there are women who are a lot bigger than I am, and they're way fucking stronger and have better stamina than I do, and they're like standing on their head and shit, and I'm dying. So 100% it's bullshit. Same thing with men though. Like the men in there are just going in to get a workout. There's never been a creepy interaction. I've had so many creepy interactions, but it's never been at a yoga studio or a Pilates studio. I've never felt like anyone's gawking at me. I've never felt uncomfortable like someone's staring at my butthole when I'm trying to like stretch. Like It's never been
I've seen it.
yeah, maybe you, but it's never been
with permission, basically, though.
A weird or creepy experience. I just don't see how that happens in the spaces. Same thing with like nail salons. You're just never. Men are always like, men's feet are disgusting, but you're just not supposed to be.
Yeah, women can't. Women are disgusted by men's feet, but we can't get a pedicure.
Apparently.
And what is? I don't even know why.
What about like
a nail salon would be a safe space? When I'm at the nail salon, I barely talk to you. Mm-hmm. I'm basically in my chair. It's like I'm on my phone. I'm playing around. I'm getting my massage chair. You're working out my disgusting feet. And
the only creepy experience I've ever had at a nail salon was with a woman.
Yeah.
And the last 3 times we've been to the nail salon, I've had a male nail tech who, does that count? Are men allowed to work there, but they're just not allowed to like be patrons?
Yeah.
Also, like, men better be getting fucking pedicures because a lot of men's feet are disgusting.
It's just, I don't even, I go to the nail salon. I've exclusively gone to the nail salon with women too. Like, I go with you. I go with my mom. Like, that's a thing me and my mom do when I go home. She's like, let's go get our nails done. And it's like, I'm not getting a manicure and getting like a fucking French nail or something like that. But like, I go and I sit there.
Sam and I do.
Yeah. I get my feet cleaned up. I get my nails clipped and buffed. And then
you're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm never like, my nails are buffed. Who wants to get fingered? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? I just don't even know. This woman was on Facebook. Like, every guy that was like, I get a pedicure, she's like, you're a creep.
The only argument for that I could even possibly fathom is if they also offer waxing, because I've seen a lot of creepy interactions with men around waxing and wanting to be waxed.
Do they not wax like you privately?
They do, obviously, but there's been a lot of interactions that I've like seen and heard of like men going in and being like, I want you to wax my gooch or whatever. And it's like some woman who's like, I'm not comfortable doing that. And then they like call the police and they're like, she's not.
Okay, we're not talking about, we're not talking about forcible
like
gooch
in a private
waxing.
room in an intimate setting.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a room with a ton of fucking people. Also, just the public accountability piece of like, you're with a bunch of other people getting your toes and nails done. Like, where is it opportune? And listen, there's creepy fucking people everywhere. It's not like I'm saying it's never happened, but like.
But this is exactly like, this is the trans story time thing, and it's like the transgender story reader at the school is not it's always the youth pastor.
You're talking about the drag queen story.
Yeah, drag story time. They're always like they're there to molest kids, and it's like, it's never them.
No, it's never them.
It's never the
someone who's out and proud about their sexuality probably isn't the one fucking children behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's always the youth pastor.
Your fucking like super conservative senator in Louisiana or some shit.
I don't think guys are like, ooh, man, I'm going to go and like look at women's feet. Like, I'm going to get my pedicure done so I can look at women's feet.
I'm sure that maybe it's happened, but again, like public accountability or whatever, where like if you're there in a busy salon, nothing's going to fucking happen. And if someone's being a creep, then like tell them they're a creep and ask them to fucking leave. But it's not designated for you. And also just the assumption that every dude ever is just a predator is not a world I really want to live in either. Like, yeah, as a woman, I have to be vigilant and careful and keep in mind that there are creepy people out there. And I think twice sometimes about walking alone at night and all of that shit. But like, and that's not fun. But I also just don't want to live in a headspace where I think every single man that exists is trying to fuck me.
Yeah. I feel like we're 2 weeks away from a gang of videos that are like, would you rather be in hot yoga with a man or a bear?
I'd still choose the bear because I just really like bears.
All right. You wanted to do something today, which I love. You wanted to just trade things we hate. We talked about on the first episode of this show that we have probably bonded over things we hate more than we've bonded over things that we like. I wouldn't say we have a lot of shared interests. I would say we have shared interests. We love dogs. There's a lot of things that we share.
A Jay Moore clip last week where he was talking about it, where he's like, it's about the hates. It's not about your common interests. Like, she can go skydiving and you can stay at home and that'll work. But like, you have to hate the same things.
Yeah. We bond a lot over hate. And so you wanted us to bring a list of things that we hate. And I love that. I don't know if you know that I was telling you before the show, but I used to do annually a March Madness bracket of hate. I'd put 64 things in that I hate and narrow it down to one. And I was looking through my list, and some of them are pretty offensive now. Remarkably, Taylor Swift was a 15 seed in the last one I put out, which is incredible because she did
a great job telling the audience that you're maybe racist.
No, that's not what I said.
They're pretty offensive now.
No,
now that everyone's woke.
No, it wasn't about racism. But Taylor Swift is a 15 seed. Now everybody knows Taylor Swift would win my March Madness of hate year in and year out. We're not even going to talk about Taylor Swift because everybody knows I hate Taylor Swift. So I've brought a list of 7 things. You've brought a list of things.
Yeah.
You decided to come up with this first, so give me the first thing you hate.
Elon off my list for the same reason you took Taylor, because it's a layup.
Yeah.
I've talked about it ad nauseum.
We both hate Elon Musk.
And how much I have hated him as an OG for years.
I've always hated Elon Musk as well, but what I have said to you about your hatred of Elon Musk is you hate Elon Musk in a level to a level that I can never dream of. Like, you hated him for a long time. You hated him as much as I hate him now before, which is like since he's become a Nazi and tried to take over the government. And
I hated him way back in like early Tesla days. Anyway, we don't need to go into that. I will start. I came prepared with points and reasoning. So my first hate is what I call American Idol / The Voice music, which is what I would say is a genre of music now where someone may have technical ability, but the rest of it is a miss. It's shitty pop music that's shoved into the mouth of the machine and just shat onto the people. And it just feels like the music industry is just trying so hard to sell you this thing that no one fucking wants.
And none of them, like, in the history of all of these competitions and like
I'm not done. It doesn't have to do with and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming from American Idol or The Voice, but it's that sound of like Clay Aiken or whatever. And the most recent ones would be like Teddy Swims or Benson Boone. That song is like, "This beautiful thing that I'm getting."
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
But the thing that they do too, vocal-driven pop, but like there's no soul behind it.
Yeah. Soulless vocal pop.
Technical ability is like a very small piece of anything. But I want to focus in on Benson Boone because it's been a topic of conversation that like everyone fucking hates.
If each of these are going to be 11 minutes long, we're going to do it.
This is just my quick rant.
Okay.
But I feel like the industry has also tried to like make him like sexy and like androgynous, and they're trying to like give him that like Freddie Mercury / like The Darkness, Justin Hawking / like I guess most recently like Harry Styles, where he's like in like a onesie with like a deep V and it's like a glittery cat suit or whatever, and he's doing fucking backflips and doing
I don't know who he is except that you just told me.
We'll insert a video.
Right. Well, we don't. I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
I've heard the name a lot, and you just sang me the song.
What's missing? There's no side pipe and there's no nipples.
What is side pipe?
Bulge. You can't put a man in that outfit and remove and have him look like Barbie.
This topic has gone sideways.
You need to. I'm not done. You need to let him sexualize and be sexualized, and whether he's gay or straight or whatever, you can't. He has a full tuck in these videos. Like there's it's just flat. There's no bulge. There's no, and that was like the glory of like the like Freddie Mercury shit. Where you're just like, he's in like maybe like, or like Van Halen, or like any of that like 80s genre, like glammy shit too, or just like they're wearing their sister's lycra, but like
You see cock?
you at least know it's a man. There's not even nipple.
I was on board for this this like soulless vocal
The
artist.
music sucks, but it's like too fucking like sterilized as well.
I
Is
got
what
you.
I'm saying. And that's why
Sterile
no one fucking
vocal
likes it.
pop.
It's sterile vocal pop with no soul and no sexuality, and I need some dick in the music if you're gonna make it about that.
Okay. Young Gravy.
Hate him.
I know. Okay, I agree. I was caught off guard by add more dick would help, but
In every aspect.
okay, right. Okay, you need balls, is what you're saying.
I need
You don't need to
balls.
see balls,
I
but
need
you need
cock and
balls.
balls and nipples and tits.
Because like the thing is Kelly Clarkson has balls
Right, but Kelly Clarkson like evaded that whole thing.
because she has balls.
Yeah, and she like is a fucking powerhouse. But like that first album,
I don't know anything about her albums.
I mean, I know the singles. I didn't buy the album, but like I think we all know from that time when it was like a huge thing. It's just like there was something behind it. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Why are you looking at me? Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
What's something you hate?
It's not as deep as that. I hate the big light. I hate the overhead light.
Overhead light.
I hate all. I hate basically all overhead lighting. I hate track lighting. I hate all the lights that are in the ceiling. I hate any fluorescent lighting. I need lamps. I hate the big light. No big light.
If you were to have a near-death experience, would you also hate that big light?
It's the only big light I want to see. I don't want to be confused. Did I fall down on the floor and now I'm just looking
So
up
you would
at...
go into the light, you wouldn't think it'd be like a pot light?
That's what I'm saying. If we get rid of the overhead fluorescent track lighting and I all of a sudden come to, I won't be confused that might be what I'm heading toward.
All right.
I hate the big light.
I can't argue with you because I also dislike. I'm a vibe. I like the vibe lighting. I like low lighting. I like what it does for the face.
I'm going to add this. We need bathroom lamps. Bathroom lamps should be a thing.
I don't understand how you're supposed to, as a woman, get ready in the bathroom, get your hair done and do your makeup in the bathroom, which I refuse to do, while looking at yourself in overhead lighting. It doesn't amp you up for the night.
I understand that we need good lighting in the bathroom at some point, like powerful lighting, but when I'm not getting ready,
What do I need good lighting in the bathroom for?
I don't know. I guess getting ready, like, or whatever. But like, I need mood lighting to poop. Give me poop lighting. Give me poop mood lighting.
Lighting candles in there?
Give me a shower mood light.
Shower mood light would be it. I
Yeah.
agree.
You ever like take a shower at sunset, but like you just don't turn the lights on, and you're like, I'm just going natural light.
I don't time my showers like that.
I'm just saying, you ever find yourself at a beach house and the sun's going down? You're like, why would I turn on the light when I have this glorious...
Like an outdoor shower and natural lighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I hate the big light. Okay, your turn.
I don't like when people tell you stories about people you don't know. Not necessarily like, oh, me and a friend did this thing and it was crazy, let me tell you about it. But like, my friend Paul,
My friend Benson Boone doesn't show enough cock.
who doesn't show enough cock, went to university in 1996 and he studied architecture, but then instead he became a bank teller. And anyway, he's a great guy, even though I kind of have like an issue with like who he married. But like, anyway, one day Paul, and I'm like, at this point, I already am angry. I don't know who this person is. I will never meet them. You're wasting my time. Fuck off.
If you start with my friend so-and-so, and I don't know who that person is, you need to get into a hot story right out of the gate. You
I
need to be
don't
like,
want to hear their name. Their name doesn't fucking matter to me.
yeah, but like, you want to, yeah, I'm fine with it, but like,
If you can't tell me
if you
the
go,
story
my friend Paul,
without telling me their name and giving me background, it's not a story worth hearing.
if you go, my friend Paul is in a throuple with two dwarves, I'm like, tell me more. But if you're like, my friend Paul,
But it's because it holds up if you're like, my friend is in a throuple with two dwarves. If you can tell the story without giving me any other information about the person, it's worth telling. If you have to be like, and the thing you need to know about Paul is Paul hates onions. And the thing with onions is just like, fuck off. I'm done. I would rather be sleeping. I'd rather be dead. I'd rather be dead. I'd rather actively be murdered. I'd rather be stabbed by two dwarves.
You had such a tough day at work today that I was like, are we sure that we want to do this today? And you go, it'll be good.
I'm never not ready to hate something.
Yeah. I agree. Listen, I agree with you. I have a feeling if we do things we hate regularly, there's not going to be a lot of disagreement. Because this is what we do. We hate things together.
When I have friends who tell me this, I literally
like what friend? Like Paul?
Like Paul. I literally think about stabbing them in the face. I'm like, I could take this pencil and ram it through your eye right now. Please stop talking.
And then I'll be like, my friend Charlotte stabbed this guy Paul in the face. People will be like, see, that's a good story about somebody I don't know.
What's your next hate?
Okay, should we go big or small?
I don't care.
I hate basically everything about how we board planes. I get that first class has got to go first because they can sit there and they can get their fucking champagne and they can get their bags in first and they have their cozy seats. And I even am fine with them sitting there being able to judge people. Everything else about plane boarding I hate. We should board planes back to front. First people on, last people off. Oh, what about my bags? No one is going to go further back than they need to go.
What's more what is luxurious exactly about being in first class and like then having people hit you in the knees with their bags as they go
But
through?
Listen, first class is a whole different thing. If you have this thing about wanting to be in first class, fine. But like, why is the person in 6A on before the guy in 35?
So Europe is talking about having an airline where it's basically like a subway car, where it's just like there's like standing sections on the plane, or like it's just like a free for all. You just get on the fucking plane.
Great.
You're all for that.
I'm all for that.
No order.
I'm for everything. But generally how we board planes now, we should go back to front, no doubt about it. It's so obvious. And then also, before we board everybody else, we're going to board families with children. Why would you want children on the plane longer? Why would you want people boarding the plane after children? Children should be the last people to board. And I love kids, and I want to bring kids on flights, but like, why would you want that? Why are you putting families with kids on before regular passengers? And then they go, and this is my number one thing I hate, active military. Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. I had the SAT scores and the born IQ to go to college, and you got a DUI when you were 17, and now you skip me in boarding lines? Absolutely not.
Because they're probably going to a fucking war. But I don't care about any of that. You know what I dislike the most about planes? When you're boarding and unboarding, whatever the plane. So I don't
boarding and deboarding.
Deboarding. I don't like having the brief interaction with the stewardess who's like, and the pilots.
Bye-bye.
I don't want to do it. I want to opt out of it's weird and unnecessary, and it makes me uncomfy, and it catches me off guard every time, and I go, ugh.
I just say thank you and don't look up. All right, your turn.
You can get mad at me because this is a straight man shouldn't. But
here we go.
Hear me out. Straight men should not be allowed to Instacart or to Postmates.
To be the deliverer of...
You can deliver. You cannot go shopping for me. You have no attention to detail. You don't give a fuck. You can't, like... I feel like women would go, oh, she's making ziti. And be like, so then she does need, this kind of cheese. Like, let me get her a block instead of, like, pre-shredded fucking Parmesan. Like, every time I've had a woman or a gay man do an Instacart or a Postmates order for me, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And if they don't have something, we're texting, They're sending me pictures going, is this going to work? Is this okay? Or they just make subs that they know are going to work, and I have no problem with
straight
it.
men are like, I see you wanted Cheerios. They didn't have that, so I got you waffles.
Straight men, it's like, I will order like a pound of ground beef, and I get a frozen dinner Hungry Man. And I'm like, where the fuck? The amount of times I've had straight guys be like, I don't know what that is. And it's like a vegetable.
Let me say I agree with you. And the reason I agree with you is I fucking hate grocery shopping. And
I know, because every time you go grocery shopping, you call me 45 times.
But here's why I call you 45 times. Because I don't want to be the guy who brings home the replacement that you didn't want.
I feel like it's not that hard, though. You're like, what kind of cheese is the best cheese for this thing? And it's just like, okay, so if they don't have the block of cheese, do they have it in shredded cheese? Or like, if they don't have gorgonzola, do they have blue cheese? Because we could sub it in.
Yeah, but then I come home and you're like, what the fuck? I'm literally making a gorgonzola sauce and you brought me fucking blue cheese.
Maybe if you cook dinner more, you could sub things out. Going off instinct alone.
We finally have our first disagreement. You can't have it both ways. You can't have Instacart guy makes judgment call, brings you something you didn't think you needed, and then I call you to make sure I'm getting you the exact right thing, and you're also mad.
I'm not mad. Just ask me the things. Let's keep it to like 3 phone calls. This is going to be a fight.
Also, you don't go to the grocery store. You insist on only...
The last 4 times we've gone grocery shopping, I have gone on my own to Trader Joe's.
You like to spend $40 extra to have a straight man
It's not that I like
go to
do
grocery
that.
outlet.
It's that I don't have time.
Okay. I hate styrofoam.
I know. I hate shrimp.
There's no reason that we need styrofoam anymore. We've progressed past it.
You just hate the noise that it makes
and the feel of it. And I don't see any reason. We've lost the need for it. We don't need it anymore.
All right. I have no notes.
Okay.
I don't like shrimp.
That seems like very personal.
I don't like shrimp because they're bugs. I feel like shrimp are a lie that for generations and generations people have projected where they're like, you love shrimp. Shrimp
turn and face the camera. You're very pretty.
You love shrimp. Shrimp tastes great.
I love that Charlotte's decided to do a podcast just staring directly at me and yelling about things she doesn't like.
Conversation. But shrimp are disgusting. They're bottom feeders. They're full of literal dirt and shit and microplastics. And everyone's like,
I don't know if they're full of microplastics.
They are.
Why are they full of microplastics?
Because they're bottom feeders. And also everything in the ocean is now microplastic. But they're disgusting. They look like little bugs. They are little bugs. And people are like, they're delicious. And
they are delicious.
It's literally like eating a fucking spider. It's vile to me. They don't taste good. I don't like the texture. The thing that you like cocktail sauce. That's what you like.
That's not even true.
Shrimp is just a vessel for sauce and whatever the fuck you're frying over it. Or whatever. And like, I like all of those things, but I don't need the chewy ass, shitty piece of meat in there that tastes like someone's tongue.
First of all, cocktail shrimp is good, but is like not top 10 shrimps. But also, no one likes chicken wings without buffalo sauce. No one you know what I mean?
What about lemon pepper wings?
This is my point, though. Lemon pepper shrimp, also delicious.
People I could eat
like the idea that
an unseasoned chicken breast because I
first
did
of all,
for
people
months.
People eat unseasoned. I'll eat it. People eat unseasoned shrimp, but like people aren't eating unseasoned chicken. People aren't eating unseasoned you go steak, salt and pepper, sure, but steak is the king. Steak's the goat.
Steak you could eat unseasoned.
Hi, it's the number one.
Oh, it's a baby.
All right, since we're going with things that taste a certain way. I hate IPAs and the people who drink them.
I agree.
At this point, I think I hate IPAs, the people who drink them, and the people who brew them. I don't think that anybody who is a devout IPA drinker even really likes it. I think that they should like it. They think they should like it. And cool, you like a strong drink? Guess what's stronger than IPAs? Whiskey.
IPA, first of all, tastes like someone vomited a rainbow.
Yeah.
Especially the West Coast ones where they're like juicy, fruity, citrusy IPA. It's like, this is vomit. I've never had an IPA where I didn't have a fucking horrible hangover the next day.
That's the other thing is people are like, I love IPAs. And it's like, you can't even handle 4 of them.
No. The other thing is I would just double down and say everyone who's like a beer guy, like a snob, like a dude who's really into beer, who's going to tell you about IPAs, is a piece of shit.
Agreed.
That guy is a rapist.
That guy should not be in the nail salon or in Pilates.
No.
Okay. Gang, we got to get down.
No, don't push them.
I think every brewery... We got interrupted by our
Food cam.
by our Uber Eats order. I think every brewery that serves an IPA has to go 1-for-1. One IPA to one other very regular, normal fucking beer. One IPA, one stout. A second IPA, a lager. A third
disagree.
IPA.
I think if you're going to drink IPA, you should just double down on being disgusting and take like a shot of Fernet every time.
No, I'm not saying the person. I'm saying the brewery.
Oh.
The brewery should have to have a 1-to-1. If you
100%.
serve 4 IPAs, then you need 4. You can't go IPA, 2 sours, a seltzer, and a saison. You need to go 1 IPA, 1 stout, 1 IPA, 1 pilsner, 1 IPA, 1 lager, 1 IPA, 1 sour. This, like, we serve 7 IPAs and a saison is retarded. Okay, go ahead.
I don't like sticky mouth. I don't know.
I would love to see. Remember, hit us up on Instagram at LoveYaStupid if you are a sticky mouth supporter.
It is super common now on social media because people do those videos where they talk like this and they're like, come with me while I get my nails done at an LA spa that's also a hamburger joint that serves ube pancakes. It's that drives me up the fucking wall. I have to scroll immediately or I'm enraged and I want to throw up. It's when you can hear like sticky mouth, like someone needs to take a drink of water and they're talking and you can hear the spit in their mouth fucking sticking around together. It's people who talk like that in videos. Some people just talk like that all the time. Bob and old people.
Our whole life is just
Old people are really
sticky
bad.
mouth Bob licking his own penis, his asshole, his feet, his own face. Bob! Stop!
Bob! So that's mine. Also, deduct even more points if you have like the sticky corners of the
It's
mouth.
a very common like
Misophonia.
comedy fail. If you're up there and you have sticky mouth and you don't know, I promise the audience does know.
It's not
Take
hard.
a drink.
Take a drink of water.
I've had
Nothing you're saying is so important that you can't stop and take a fucking
I've had
drink
the
of
better
water.
part of a 24-ounce Miller Lite just to make sure I don't have sticky mouth.
Come with me while I go to the nail salon and they wax my asshole while a man watches in a cuck chair.
Okay, I've got I think 3 more. I'm gonna go one big one, one small one, and then a big one. Okay,
All right.
Here's my big one. I hate my landlord, and I hate your landlord, and I hate all landlords, but mostly mine, and definitely yours. And when I say mine, I don't mean my current landlord, although
every single one.
she's a fucking bitch. Every landlord I've ever had. Every landlord you've ever had. I fucking hate landlords. It's such a scumbag job. And guess what? I know that everybody out there is like, we should buy this little piece of property and Airbnb it. It's like, fuck you. You're like, just buy a house and live in it.
Pretty much.
All of our rents and all of the prices.
Don't you love when people are like, don't you want to like get an investment property and rent it out?
No.
No, I don't.
No.
No, not in a million years.
All of
Also,
our rents.
I wouldn't want to be a landlord because I would hate every single person that would live in my fucking house.
All of our rents and our housing prices would be cheaper if you didn't want to be a landlord. Don't be a landlord. Be cool. Don't be a landlord. Landlords fucking suck. But especially my landlord.
Yeah, she's a con. Adults who don't swear.
Yeah.
If
Fuck
you-
that.
If you are a grown adult
Cunts. All of them.
and you say freak or frickin'
Or
like,
frickin'.
or like heck,
Or frick.
there's something. We need to check your search history.
Yeah.
There's something deeply wrong with you. I think that you're fucking children.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely fricking children.
I do not trust you.
Their mouth fricking them. Their butt fricking them.
Yeah, adults who don't swear. I'll wrap it up and just do my other one, and then are you done?
I have two more, so let me go one, and then you go one. People condescending about sports. I hate people who are like, sports ball. Oh, you watching your sports ball? Like, guess what sports are? Sports are just an interest.
I think you can be condescending about specific sports that you don't like.
Yeah.
But sports in general.
I hate it when
No.
people are just like act as if sports. I take sports way too seriously.
Yeah, you do.
For sure. By the way, I don't take sports as seriously as a lot of. I am not even close to taking sports the most seriously. Some people take sports way more seriously. But the idea of people being like, sports ball, you're watching your sports ball. You know why I like sports? Because I did sports as a kid. You know what you like? Shit that you did as a kid. You like to horse ride. You like to be around horses because you did that shit when you were a kid. People who like comic books, collected comic books as a kid. People who are into movies, watch movies.
Targeted.
What's that?
Is it me?
No. This is not at you at all. You're just like, you are actually not condescending about sports. You
I
just
like to
go,
watch your sports.
go in your shed and watch your sports.
Well, then there's sportses that I will watch with you.
Yeah.
There's just some that I won't.
I just think I think the people who are like, you watching your sports ball and like act as if it's
I just like
less
when people are like, oh, like they have better things to do, and it's
Yeah.
like, bitch, you're just sitting on TikTok scrolling.
Right.
Like,
or like you're into the theater and you think you're like cultured, or you're into like going to art museums. It's like it's the exact same thing. And I like going to art museums and I like going to
well,
the
everyone
movies.
has their fucking thing too. It's like people who are really condescending about video games. It's not my thing. I also didn't do them as a kid, so I can't really get into it. I don't give a fuck about video games. But like, if that's how you want to spend your free time, it's your fucking life. I'm not judging you. I don't care.
And here's the thing about sports that I don't like people condescending about is sports is very social. People watch sports in groups. People go to games. People talk about sports. Yeah, there's horrible, toxic sports fans in person and online.
In Philadelphia.
Yeah, but like also on the online sports community. But like video games is like incel shit a lot of the time. I'm not judging video games, but like stop condescending people who like want to get together with their friends and drink beer.
The one thing I'll say about sports stuff and like video game stuff and just like dude things, I'm going to put that in wide brackets in general though, is I feel like sometimes women will roll their eyes and be like, oh, sports ball or like whatever the fuck. Because I feel like sometimes women, there's an expectation to like find out what your guy is into and like it as well. And it doesn't go the other way. Where it's like, okay, but like, is he also into like your shit? Like, if you're going to baseball games, is he coming to yoga?
That's what I'm saying. This ties back to the beginning too. And it's like, you gonna watch your sports ball today? It's like, no, I'm gonna put down the sports ball. What should we do? And it's like, well, I'm gonna go get my nails done. And then people are like, get the fuck out of here, you creep. Okay, you got one more, and then I'm going big.
Okay, I'm going to give you two options and you can pick one. People who make plans with no intention of keeping them, or Southern accents.
Well, let's go with people who make plans with no intention of keeping them. That's a very LA thing.
It's a Toronto thing too. I think there's some real crossover in those cities in general. For me,
I also think it's a young person thing.
for sure. I think it's also that I'm insane. So for me, it happened a lot in dating, and I always clocked it and I always hated it, where it's like, you'll be on a first date with someone, they're like, yeah, like, I'm going to take you camping. And it's like, bitch, I don't fucking know you. I don't want to go camping. You could murder me in the woods. But also, like, cool. And then when that person ghosts you or you, like, never talk to them again, I don't mourn the person at all. I'm like, who cares? But I'm like, I did want to go camping, though. That's a bummer. Like, I get sad about the plans that don't happen. Or like,
you gotta just go do it.
Yeah,
and you just gotta go do it without them.
But I like planning. You know this. I like having a plan.
I don't even think you like planning at all. I
like having a plan, and if I have to make it, then I will, because no one fucking else does. That's not at you. That's in general. But I like making a plan, and I get upset when things change last minute too, where it's just like, oh, we're planning on doing this, or like, let's say you called me when we were dating, and you're like, we're gonna go do this thing, and then 2 days before we're supposed to go do it, you're like, hey, I just like forgot, and I'm like, it's too. I would be really upset. But if there's no plans and you call me that day and you're like, we're gonna go do this thing, I'd be like, let's go, I'm in. I like the spontaneity, like, let's do it. But making a plan and then like fucking it off later, I hate you.
Yeah. It's a very California thing. It's a very young person thing. I feel like my generation, and we're kind of different generations, doesn't bail on plans as much. I feel like
I've dated a lot of people in your generation, and they definitely do.
I feel like Gen X like angrily go to the thing that they don't want to go to.
I think they're
like, fuck, I said I was gonna go, and now I don't want to go, and now I'm just. How often do I leave here being like, I fucking said I was gonna do this fucking thing, and I don't want to go, and you're like, just don't go. And I'm like, I fucking gotta go.
I guess. The other, like, fuck, I had another point, and then you interrupted me, and now it's gone. I hate you. Or was it?
Southern accents?
No, it was along with plan. Oh, I feel like a lot of it is also like fishing language, and it's not direct, where it's like, let me like float out these plans, and if she is interested, then she'll want to see me again, but I don't have to stick to the plans. It's just a way of finding out if someone's interested enough to like want to go out again, or to like want to make plans with you in the future. And that is stupid and cowardly. Just be like, hey, I had a great time. Would you like to go out again? I don't like this like weird false pretense to fish and try to figure someone out. Like, just ask me fucking directly. Because then it just feels like you're trying to finagle me into some shit. Like, maybe if I take her on something that she likes, she'll have to go out with me again. And it's like, no, motherfucker, I should want to go out. I should want to go fucking, like, do anything with you if I like you enough for a second date. Like, you'd be like, do you want to go to the library and read books in silence? Yeah, if I'm into you, I do. But I don't want to fucking go, what's a thing I like? Get pickles somewhere, you know? If you're a fucking, I almost said something terrible. Cut that out.
Why would you? Why? See, now I gotta cut it out. You knew you shouldn't say it, and you said it anyway. Now I gotta fucking edit.
All right, should we do our love you stupid and then wrap it?
All right. First, last thing I hate: God.
Sure.
I hate God. I don't know if God's real. I don't care if God's real. I hate God. I hate people using God as a crutch. I hate using God as an excuse to be hateful. I hate people who can't just believe in themselves and things.
I hate the idea that people need some kind of moral guidance.
Yeah.
You should fucking know what's right or wrong.
Be nice. Because you affect other people.
Be generally fucking moral. Don't do things that you wouldn't want people to do to you. The end.
Yeah. Also, just stop talking about it. Just stop. Just. You believe in God? Cool.
Do you ever have conversations with people who are religious who cannot fucking fathom the idea that you can get through life without the guidance of a higher power?
It's insane. And I think it's cringe as fuck to talk about. Stop talking about God entirely.
Do you think there's ever a context where you could understand someone's faith in God? Like if someone is in prison for life and like they needed something like that just to get through.
How does that even help?
I don't know.
I think it's a
because then it relieves you of.
I think it's a crutch for dumb people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
I think it's a crutch for dumb people. You can believe in it, but no, it is a crutch. Like, you can think like, I think that a higher power exists, but putting anything more into it than that, just to me is like being like, I can't get through this life on my own. I need the boogeyman fearing me into doing things or making me think it's the right thing to do.
What about like Buddhism, where there's not really like a theological like God, but there's like a
even that just generally, like, if you, they're all religions, and this is why I didn't say religion, all religions have things that you can take that are like worth taking, and maybe you weren't,
except Scientology,
right, but maybe you weren't smart enough to boil it down to a thought or like a commandment or a whatever or a philosophy. But just being like, but God, like, I'm talking about God, like, don't talk about God. Stop saying God. Always. No more God. God out. I don't want to hear the word God. I don't want to talk about what God thinks, what God says, what God teaches, what God preaches. No more God. God's canceled.
I don't really give a fuck if you believe that and you keep it to your believies. If you're like, there's a guy who lives in the sky who's all powerful and I think that he does this. But I think the issue is people casting judgment or using it to push their own fucking weird biases. And
also, people are into weird shit.
When they're like, man won't lie with another man while eating shrimp. And
right.
I'm like, motherfucker, I hate shrimp, but like.
But now we're just talking about like religion, which obviously organized religion.
Right. Just the whole perception of God in general.
Like, if you want to go do your, like, if I want to go do my sports thing, or you want to go do your video game thing in your groups or whatever, go do God at church with your God people. Otherwise, popularly, commonly, God should, I don't want to hear about God at all.
Do you know that Jared Leto has ass implants?
I did not know that. All right. Last thing we have is we did get a message on our Instagram at Love You Stupid on Instagram. We got a great message. Our first one. If you have a question for us, you can DM us on Instagram, Love Ya Stupid. And we got this one. Dear Stupids, my ex and I recently broke up. Now you've got me worried about dry mouth. Dear Stupids, my ex and I recently broke up. We are currently in the process of selling the house we bought. Toy. There's a couple misspellings in here. We bought together, I think.
They bought a toy house together.
We're currently in the process of selling a house we bought together. Unfortunately, we accrued debt from fixing up the house, new hot water heater, roof, etc. That being said, even after we sell the house, I'm going to be hurting financially. So my question is, would it be better to get a place with and play roulette, or move into my grandparents' basement apartment for free and save up money until I can afford a place of my own? For context, I am a teacher in the metro Atlanta area and don't make enough to afford a place on my own in the area I work. I'm currently working on my master's degree, which comes with a big raise.
Here's what you're going to do. You're going to start getting rid of your moral compass. You're going to disregard God. You're going to turn to the left-hand path. You're going to indoctrinate yourself into a Satanist cult. And then it doesn't matter which one you choose, because if it's your roommate, you're going to murder them. And if it's your grandparents, you're going to murder them. And either way, you get that whole apartment to yourself or that whole house to yourself for a couple of months until the police catch on. And then you don't ever have to worry about your financial burden again, because you will be living in prison. You don't have to worry about shelter. You don't even have to worry about your sex life. It's taken care of.
Charlotte's take. My take is move in with your grandparents. I think it's a no-brainer.
I want more context that I don't have. I want to know how old this person is. I want to know. Did it say?
No, but also my grandparents' basement apartment.
But also, okay, so they've made it like an ADU. Good for
Well,
you.
it's a basement apartment. A basement apartment tells me separate entrance.
I want to know, like, the things that would be important for me to know about my grandparents, because I would never live with either of my grandparents if they were still alive. But if you have like those like cool ass, like kind of deaf grandparents that like bake you cookies and like can't hear you half the time, and you have your privacy, and then you go upstairs and there's like dinner and shit, like live with your fucking grandparents.
Yeah.
But if you have like crazy dysfunctional grandparents like I grew up with, where like they'll take
I
off
feel
your
like he
fake
would-
leg and
I-
kick you down the stairs, maybe don't.
I feel like he would have added my psychotic grandparents who beat me. But
He also didn't say my wonderful, loving, kind, warm, bake me cookies grandparents.
right. But so let's just take it at face value.
These
Regular
are
old
things that
grandparents.
matter.
I think you
Maybe
live with
your grandpa likes to spy on you in the shower. I don't know.
I think you live with your grandparents. It's a better story because I think the unspoken part about this is like he's divorced, so he's single again. He's gonna have to date. Honestly,
I think dating, it's tough either way. But if you're dating where you're like, I bought a house, but I'm selling that and I'm trying to recover and I'm like getting my life together and I'm school, and in the meantime I'm staying with family, it's better than being like, I am 45 and living with a guy I don't know.
well, he's a teacher and he's getting a master's in education. I'm gonna go with 27.
Still.
Right.
Also, I've never had a roommate I didn't fucking hate by the end of it.
And I just think it's, you go, oh, I'm divorced and I'm broke because of the house thing and whatever. So now I have a roommate. It's like, ugh. But it's like, I'm divorced and I have something and I'm getting my shit together and, I'm going to get a big raise when I get my master's degree. So I figure in the meantime,
You can also spin it like I'm taking care of
And
my
it's
grandparents too, and it's free, and then you can actually save up.
yeah,
I feel like everyone's like, I'm going to get a roommate and save up, and then rent is so fucking expensive, you still don't save any money.
I think the idea of, let's say you play roommate roulette and you get the coolest roommate of all time, yada, yada, yada. You still have a roommate and it's costing you money. So you have a roommate and it costs you money, or you live with family in a basement apartment for free.
I'm just saying, don't rule out murder.
Right. Charlotte said murder everybody and blame it on Satan. And I'm saying live with your sweet grandparents and lean into it. Put on Hinge. Come to my grandparents for dinner. Like,
No one's coming over. Don't open with that.
I say
Don't open with
use
it.
some Hinge
It's not
prompts
a good
to
opener.
put the grandparents thing in there.
Tell them on the first date. Tell them on the first
Yeah, because you can always go back to a lady's place. Honestly, I just think living with your grandparents less cringe than living with a roommate.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Grandparents. Okay, our food's here, and that was another episode of Love You Stupid.
Love you, stupid.
Love You Stupid. Follow us, rate, review, and subscribe to this wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave a comment on YouTube. Subscribe on our Substack, and send us a message if you want us to reply to you. Love ya, YA, stupid on Instagram. Okay. Bye.
But I may be wrong, but I'll never tell. And you may be right, but you can go to hell. And I may be ugly, but you can't prove it. But one thing I know is I love you, stupid.